بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. أهلا وسهلا everybody. Nice to see all of you back here for our Islamic finance halaqat. طبعا we finish our curriculum on fiqh of financial transactions right before Ramadan. Somebody should go check their cars. And there was one topic that we didn't really cover, which is the topic of insurance. Now, the topic of insurance, we didn't cover it because we are going through Aqsa al-Mukhtasarat, which is a Hanbali fiqh book, right? And anybody can tell me why we didn't go through it, we didn't mention it? It's not mentioned in the book? Anybody can tell me why it was not mentioned in the books of fiqh? Like if you open a book of fiqh right now, or any book of hadith, will you find the topic of insurance? Huh? It's a new thing, right? For the reason we didn't cover it is because if you follow the fiqh books, the classical fiqh books, you will not find the topic of insurance. Aslan, even the earliest you will find people talking about insurance is the 14th century, right? And insurance actually, when you talk about insurance, it's a new type of transaction. There was no insurance at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, time of Sahaba, right? It didn't exist. And when you look at the fiqh of financial transactions, insurance, to understand it, you have to have covered a few topics. From them is you'd have to have covered al-gharar. We covered al-gharar. Al-gharar actually comes up in most of the transactions. It's one of the main reasons why a transaction might be impermissible Islamically because of gharar, right? We'll talk about gharar. We'll quickly do a review of what gharar is. The second topic that involves insurance, anybody want to guess? What's the other issue? Riba, okay. How is riba involved in insurance, right? We'll talk about that. And what's another one? They say al-qimar or al-maysir, right? Gambling. How is insurance gambling? We're going to talk about it, inshallah. Now, today, it's a bit of an academic approach to this. So I hope you didn't come here for some fatwa and then to leave, so you're not disappointed. We'll give some of the rulings that the Islamic councils gave, but I want you to at least understand where the hukum is coming from, what is insurance, and why you'll see that the majority have said it's not permissible. And then what do we do here when in situations where we have to do it, and then what do we do in situations where it's in front of us and we have a choice? Okay, that's kind of what we want to cover bi'idhnillah. And I'm going to try to play both parts. We're going to try to look at the arguments from both parts so you kind of understand the whole topic. So halal or haram, the insurance you can't escape. And the title, obviously, because some insurances, we can't escape them. Like if one of you says, I'm going to drive without insurance, what's going to happen? Huh? خلاص, you go to jail. طبعا you can say, I'm never going to get caught, but eventually you will get caught. طيب, نبدأ إن شاء الله. So, جميل. And it looks like there's some good interest for this topic because I can see some northeast people coming here. Usually it's the southeast people that are here. Bas ahlan wa sahlan. Nice to see people from different places in Calgary. طيب. So أولاً we'll talk about what is insurance. Okay, the definition, history, how it works. We'll talk about insurance in classical fiqh. When was it mentioned first? When was it first discussed? Why scholars say it's haram. So this is the standard fatwa that we hear, why they say it's haram. The types of insurance, okay. Some of them have given different fatwa depending on the type of insurance. And then we'll talk about some Islamic alternatives and how applicable is that. Because I'd like to also kind of criticize that one. The Islamic alternative. Is it really an alternative? Or is it just... You will find, subhanAllah, sometimes in mu'amalat, sometimes they'll just change the wording and they'll say, خلاص, now we've Islamicized it. يعني, no, if the concept is still the same, then it's not Islamic just because you change the name. تمام. طيب, and then we'll discuss two papers that were written by AMJA. AMJA is the American Muslim Jurists Association. And so this is one of the main boards here in North America. And so we'll discuss two papers that were written on this topic, inshallah, and what was their conclusions, and then we'll have some Q&A بإذن ta'ala. So 9:55 is our iqamah time. طيب, Bismillah. نبدأ إن شاء الله. So last week or 2 weeks ago, the Premier had a meeting with some of the masajid and organizations. Was anybody there? Anybody there? No. Anybody see the video I'm about to talk about? Yeah. What did she say?
She announced it was about two topics. One of them was insurance is coming, like halal insurance is on the way, and the other topic, I forgot, but it was something mortgage. Halal.
That's right. I actually put the quote. I think this is the exact quote. She said, when I was in the Middle East, I heard there's such a thing as halal insurance. And then she says, if I understand how it works, everybody pays in. And then if you have a claim, your insurance goes up next year. And if you don't have a claim, you get some money back at the end of the year. What do you guys think? Has anybody here had takaful or has dealt with takaful? Is it similar to what she's saying? Yeah? طيب.
This is, no, I was in Dubai. They don't get you something back, no.
You don't get nothing back in Dubai. Here we have, what's they're called in the East? No, the organization that does it. So Ansar has it, and there was another one called.
It's through cooperatives, the cooperators or
yeah. Yeah. And I kind of looked up a bit about Ansar, and I think they do give some surplus back, right? Something annually.
Yes, but it's like not annually. It's like I think every 4 or 5 years.
Every 4 or 5 years, you get some money back. Okay, it's very interesting. Okay, so anyways, المهم, طبعا recently, we've been able to get, I guess, a halal option for buying homes, right, through the avenue of murabaha, and the Premier did have a big role to play in it, and it wasn't that difficult to implement, and that's why that's how she's getting to the Muslims, She kind of mentioned this, that maybe we can do the same with insurance. If that's something that is doable, Allahu a'lam, but I think it's a step in the right direction. طيب, المهم. I just found it interesting that she mentioned this a few days ago. طيب, if I ask you what is insurance, well, in late term, like what's insurance? ما هو التأمين? In Arabic we say تأمين. نعم.
It's a guarantee of a third party for something you have or you do. It's a lose-win kind of contract.
So it's a guarantee. What are you trying to get? So this is a mu'amala, right? Like this is a type of contract. تمام. So one side will give compensation. They will give an amount of money. Okay. And what are they expecting in return? So you're paying for like risk management, صح? It's a type of risk management. You have a risk, right? And you'll see that one of the first people to kind of try to implement this were the merchants who used to travel on their ships and stuff, and they wanted to have some guarantee in case something, some accident happens or all their merchandise is stolen or something like that. It's a contract in which one party pays a premium in exchange for a guarantee of compensation against a specified loss, damage, or liability. Liability is something that you cause against somebody else. You're liable for it, and you're responsible for it. And so in car insurance, مثلا, you pay and they will cover liability for any health damage or any damage on the person's car. And also if you pay the full insurance, you will also have coverage for your car as well. تمام? طيب. So it's a premium, regular payment. So the person who wants I guess, coverage is paying an amount of money monthly or whatever it is, yearly. Or most people pay monthly, but some people will pay, I guess, yearly or twice a year. Tamam. And what it is, it's like they gather this money. Okay, it's called risk pooling. Many pay in, few claim out. The core mechanism of insurance. By the way, I don't know, has anybody tried calculating the average amount of money that a person will save from their premiums? Anybody try it out? Yani, let's say the average person will pay premiums for about, I don't know, according to ChatGPT, maybe 40 years. The average person, yani. Okay? And then you just multiply by how much you pay annually. I don't know. The average premium annual is how much? 1,500, 1,600? Naam?
I did a calculation for Canadian Muslims. We are paying $2 billion annually.
$2 billion, Canadian Muslims. How did you get that number though?
I got it from some government number from 2015. And I deducted I took a percentage, assumed the percentage of younger age that do not drive and older age that do not drive. And something in that between, I took the average Canadian car insurance, only for car insurance, sorry.
This is car insurance.
Yes.
And this is an annual, you said?
Yes.
Interesting. That's a big amount. According to, I guess it's just an AI, Allah alam, but in average, the person will, actually, what do you guys think? On average, in a lifetime, do you pay more than you claim? Everybody agrees, huh? Okay. Way more, okay. Well, the numbers I got was, I think, it's all average, because some people might be more, but I think it was like 70,000, I think, per lifetime, assuming like 40 years of paying premiums. And I think it was like 40 something, the probability of you claiming. So there's about $30,000 that's going in the pockets of, these companies, obviously. I just thought that's interesting, Yani. I guess all of you agreed that you are always paying more than you get on average, صح? So the question is, why don't people just save it in their own accounts and just, don't pay for their own damage? What do you guys think? Like, why don't people just do that? Because we're going to see now that one of the arguments is there's a darura because the Sharia came, maqasid al-Sharia is to protect the life and the wealth, and so they're going to make that claim that we need insurance because it's a darura, okay? But if you think about it, if you saved money, you have more than enough, صح? Were you going to say something? Yeah? تفضل. Because I want this to be a discussion, not just a...
For resolving conflict, when two parties, let's say a car accident, the only way to ensure that one of them will get compensated is by holding a certain amount prior to the accident with a third party.
Otherwise, they will not get compensated on the spot.
Otherwise, you cannot guarantee compensation for the damaged party. That's why you need a third party that's trusted by the ruling system, which is the insuring companies. Well, the issue here is it's a for-profit company.
Yeah, طيب, okay, جميل. Yeah, تفضل.
The point is that, for example, God forbid you had an accident, but you don't have an insurance and you don't have money as well. So you will end up crashing someone else's car, but you cannot pay for his repair. Then it's gonna be affecting the day-to-day deeds with the people. So you will have problems in the society because someone has hit someone's other car that you cannot pay. So you're gonna be causing disturbance to the society.
You guys understand that? So you just got into a car accident right now, and then one of them can't pay the other person. Khalas, now the other person is without a car, and then his day-to-day chores, work, it's going to be delayed. And imagine that happens on a mass scale. طبعا, because we've become dependent on cars, we can say this. Back in the day, khalas, you just tough luck, walk. If your car broke down, what are you going to do? خلاص, you're going to walk, you're going to rent a car, you're going to find a way to, if you really need a car. So it's kind of arguable. Another word that is good to know is indemnity, and this is when you look in the contracts, this is the compensation paid when a covered loss occurs. And one of the things that people don't also realize is it's not just the car claims. Like you have health claims and, like some liabilities that are covered by the insurance, up to like $1 million. صح? Is it like $1 million? Yeah.
In the industry and stuff like those, it's
Most policies are like $1 million, right? They're covering in yeah. So I mean, it's a big amount. يعني. طيب. Jamil. Okay. Let's keep going. So when you look at the kind of the history, Ibn Abidin, one of the Hanafi scholars, يعني rahimahullah, he was the first one to kind of discuss this kind of topic. يعني it was discussed يعني that these merchants they wanted some kind of risk management يعني for their properties, for their merchandise. So it was discussed يعني amongst some of the merchants that they would pay a third party to cover in case there was damage. Kind of what insurance is today. Also, this was something that was discussed in the Ottoman during the Ottoman time. Ottoman scholars debate maritime and fire insurance as trade with Europe expands. I think in Europe it was. I think it was maybe in UK, in London, in England, where it was first implemented. I think there was some major event like the London fires or something like that, if I remember reading it somewhere. And that's when they really kind of introduced, because if you can imagine, like when we have like those hailstorms, right? And there's a lot of damage. This affects a lot of people, right? And in that time, يعني a fire, and that affects a lot of people. Or when there's forest fires here, you can imagine like a whole town is burnt down. What happens to the properties? Who's gonna, people's lives are ruined and destroyed. طيب. Now the OIC, the Organization of Islamic, I think it's called Organization of Islamic Cooperation. المهم, it's a fiqh council in like the Khalij in Saudi Arabia. They were the first ones to kind of issue a fatwa on the tahrim of insurance. Right? And they said the alternative for that is at-takaful. The alternative for that is at-takaful. Nowadays, like I said, the standard fatwa that you'll hear is that insurance is haram, but here in the West, you have to take it. مع إنه حتى even when I was in Riyadh, we paid insurance. And from my understanding, it was pretty much similar to this. It was a bit cheaper, but it was very similar to what you see here in the West. طيب. So we said there's two positions, right? The majority view is that it is haram, and they'll tell you that it's haram you'll hear four main reasons. We said number one, al-gharar. So let's quickly review what gharar is. ما هو الغرر? When we say gharar, who can refresh? تفضل. نعم. What's gharar? So it's uncertainty. And so when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam he made it haram, bay' al-gharar, he said that it's forbidden. Okay. So what are some examples of bay' al-gharar?
buying a closed box and saying, okay,
Like in the time of the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, do you remember some of the examples we mentioned in the books of fiqh? They mentioned that. Like bay' al-hasa. Remember bay' al-hasa? Like for example, you pay an amount, and then whatever you throw a rock, whatever it hits, you get it. That's gharar, because there's uncertainty. You don't know what you're going to get. On one side, he's getting whatever, $10, and then on the other side, you could get something worth $10, something worth $50, something worth nothing. You hit some kid, then you have to pay actually for his medical expenses, right? There's gharar there. Or bay' مثلا samak, right? Like selling fish in the ocean. Can you sell to someone fish in the ocean? Huh? I'll give you a. ما تعرف is a big fish, small fish. It's I don't know. يعني it's edible, not edible. This is what gharar is. It's uncertainty. طيب, is gharar not allowed at all? Al-gharar al-fahish for sure. Like a large amount of gharar is not allowed. The fuqaha will allow a small amount of gharar. Okay. And there are some incidents or some kind of transactions that the Prophet ﷺ did allow some gharar in. If you remember selling or trading Do you guys remember the example we mentioned in Naam? Yeah, it was dates, right? Dates from the trees. Dates that didn't, يعني they were almost ripe, or they were يعني just about to ripe, with some of the older ones, right, for the benefit of the farmers. And Nabi Sallallahu gave a rukhsa for that. Very rarely, يعني, the Prophet Sallallahu gave some concessions. So al-gharar is one of the main issues. So where is gharar in insurance? Where is gharar in insurance? So I'm paying, let's say I'm paying, I don't know what you guys pay, but let's just say you pay 150, okay? I'm paying $150 a month in exchange for, طبعا there's a mu'awala here, right? Like you're giving something and you're expecting something back. Everyone agree? I'm paying for something and I'm expecting something back. Why am I mentioning this? Because when we talk about takaful, they're going to come and say, well, a takaful is tabarru'. ايش التبرع? What's tabarru'? Like a donation. طيب. Okay. Okay, I'll leave it for then. I'll leave it when we get to it. Because I want you to understand why some people have some issues with takaful. Okay, so there's some outcome of contract is fundamentally unknown. The other side will argue it, by the way. We'll talk about it. The other thing is maysir. إنما الخمر والميسر والأنصاب رجس من عمل الشيطان فاجتنبوه. So الميسر is muharram. طبعا when we talked about القمار, right, والميسر, which are kind of synonymous, what is one of the main issues of القمار والميسر? What are you doing in maysir? What is it? Explain so we understand. I know when you say gambling, we're all thinking like casino, I'm putting some money so I can win a lot. But what is it exactly? What's gambling?
You are putting small effort to get.
So you're putting something small and you're expecting something big. تمام? But this something big is coming from everybody else, kind of. Okay? That's kind of what al-maysir is. So like we said, like مثلا some of the examples we gave, like betting, like you say مثلا everybody puts like $5 and whoever wins the race will get all of it, right? That's kind of like قمار. نعم تفضل.
It's a win-lose contract, so it's not like normal trading where both of us are winning or giving. If you lose, I win. If I win, you lose. So
Exactly. So there's always somebody, there's like one person's winning and everybody else is losing, kind of thing. Or it doesn't have to be exactly that kind of ratio, but it's a win-lose. Okay, so either you're winning or you're losing. In a normal transaction, what's happening in a normal transaction? Everybody's winning. تمام. You sell me the car, I get the car, you get the money. It's a win-win. في رضا, because we said عن تراض منكم, right? So there has to be some taradi from both sides.
unless you do the accident right after you paid the right amount.
كيف؟
If you are paying 150, let's say after one year, now you are how much? 12.
Are we talking about car insurance now?
Yeah.
Okay, so now in car insurance, where's the maysir? Someone explain to me with the maysir.
I paid. I don't know. I've been paying insurance for many years, and alhamdulillah, I didn't make any accidents. So.
Oh, mashallah. So, okay, so, but like, here's the thing, like, when you go to the casino, okay, or when you gamble, you're putting something small, expecting something big. A question, when you pay your premium every month, are you expecting some big return? Like, are you entertaining yourself? Like, are you addicted to, like, paying insurance? You don't want to pay insurance. You're like, there's no winning in it. I don't know. You can. I'm sure they have their statistics, but how many people actually win in insurance? Really, how many people actually will end up paying more than they're putting in? So, is it really maysir? Is it gambling? I just want you to think, because sometimes we hear the fatwas and we're like, we just take it at face value. Is there really maysir in this?
Some people they may use it. Like some guy, he's wishing that like hailstorm to come so he can change his car.
Wishing is something different. Okay, whatever. You're
The same thing. The maysir you are wishing for winning.
Yeah, but you don't get into insurance hoping to become rich or to make money. Nobody goes into Nobody insures his car. Scams are different. We're not talking about scams. Yani people who do that as a side hustle or whatever. المهم, طيب, so that's maysir. So I just want you to think about. Anybody else yani have something to say about the maysir? Do you guys see where the maysir is and where maybe it's not really maysir?
Like in the car accident, you got accident, you got reference for injury or the car.
So كيف هذا? If I told you that's gambling, like, is that the same thing as other types of gambling?
No.
It's not. يعني you're not losing technically. I mean, you are losing. I understand what you're talking about. Okay, when I pay for, I'm playing devil's advocate here. Okay, when I'm paying for insurance, I don't like insurance companies, and I'm not getting paid for this. But when I pay insurance, okay, we're going to talk about riba now, but I'm getting, I guess, coverage for risk, right? I'm getting covered for risk. If you can't, يعني it's not physical, but is it an item that I can describe? Is it something that I can describe? Yeah, like I have some risk management. يعني I'm paying for something, and so am I getting that peace of mind? When you go to sleep, are you getting that peace of mind when you pay your insurance? Kif, you haven't been in an accident, so you don't, may Allah protect you. But I've been in plenty. I've been at least in 5 or 6. In Saudi Arabia, half of them.
For the money, but you're not sure whether you're gonna get something.
But what are you getting a peace of mind? Well, okay, let me tell you another example. When you hire a security guard, when you hire a security guard, is it possible that, why are you hiring him, first of all? So protection, safety, whatever. Is there a possibility that there's absolutely no danger?
No.
Yes, there is a possibility that there's absolutely no danger. And he doesn't have to do anything. And he can be on YouTube the whole day and he gets paid. And can I claim here that I got no benefit from him? Can I get my money back? Can I make it in the contract? Okay, a security guard. If there's no, there's nothing for you to do. There's no danger. You didn't do anything. I need at least 50% back or all the money back, because I didn't benefit anything from you. What did I benefit from you? Huh? Can I do that? Any security guards here? تفضل.
I don't know how many people live in a country without insurance. I lived there for a long while, and to be honest, it was much better than a country with insurance.
So you're saying you lived in a country without insurance and it was fine?
I had a car, and like everyone has the same thing. And everything is going perfectly. Like
You just bump each other. But شوف, I want you to look at my argument, Anna, the security guard argument. What do you guys think about that? But isn't it possible that I paid a security guard, I got no benefit from him? It's possible, صح? I got no benefit from him. He went home with extra money, and I have less money. صح? Huh?
You pay for his service.
What's the service I got?
So I mean, like, in case if he's not there,
نعم.
it's like this about uncertainty also. Like you recruit him, but if nothing happens.
But do you see where I'm coming from? It's not that far from the car insurance, because I'm paying them for that security.
Yes.
Okay, I'm paying them for that security. Tamam. Again, I'm just challenging the idea of saying this is gharar. Is it gharar? If you're saying you don't know what you're getting, you do know what you're getting. You're getting protection and coverage for your car. So it is wadih in the contract. It's not like, but how much the coverage should be, Allah alam. طب هذا security guard, it could cost him his life. Is he going to get paid more? No. He might be doing one day 10 times the work and one day nothing. He's just sitting down and reviewing his Quran or something. And he still gets paid the same. Is that gharar? That is gharar. Is that acceptable gharar? I don't know. I'm just المهم. طيب riba. So if you guys remember when we talked about riba, we said we have riba 2 types. طبعا actually we said riba can be riba al-buyu' and riba al-duyun. Okay? Riba of loans and riba of transactions. Riba of loans, I give you a loan, I expect more back. That's not what we're talking about. Okay? طيب. عندك ربا البيوع, it has two types. ربا الفضل وربا النسيئة, if you remember. Okay? ربا الفضل is what? ربا الفضل is زيادة. So مثلا, I give you a water bottle, you give me two. Okay? The same bottle. Real Canadian. Okay? I give you one, you give me two. This is riba. Okay? يعني, there's a fadl here. I give you 1 kilogram of gold, you give me 2 kilograms of gold. Okay? This is riba al-fadl. There's an increase. Okay? What's riba al-nasi'a? Riba al-nasi'a is when, and if you remember, we had 6 categories. Okay? 6 items mentioned in the hadith of Ubadah ibn Samit radiyallahu anhu. He mentioned al-dhahab wal-fidda, and we said those are muthman, they're one side, one category, and he mentioned al-milh wal-burr wal-tamar, and right, and so he mentioned 4 other kind of perishable, okay, items, and we said those 2 categories, tamam, if you're trading from one with the other, then you can do them on the spot or delayed. صح? That's what we said. Okay. But we said if you're trading within the same category, it has to be on the spot. كيف يعني on the spot? يعني الذهب والذهب يدا بيد, as mentioned in the hadith. Okay? So if you're going to trade 1 kilogram of gold with 1 kilogram of gold, so we avoid the first riba, good job, they have to be done on the spot. Right? And that's why we said, if we're going to do cash for gold, it has to be on the spot, because the same category. Cash is on the same category as الذهب والفضة. And we said the normal example people make mistakes in is when they go to a jewelry shop, is that they'll buy that necklace for their wife that costs $5,000. They'll give it $2,500 today and $2,500 next week. And we said this is what? This is a riba nasi'a. Tamam. In insurance, the claim is that you're doing which riba? Huh? Both. Ahsant. What's the claim that has both? I'm paying whatever 1,500 a year. I don't know, 2,000 a year. Okay? And if I get into an accident and I claim whatever 7,000, I gave 2, I got back what? 7. طيب. I paid 2 and got 7 on the same day or a different time? Different time. They say, okay, then you're doing both kind of riba. You're doing riba al-fadl wa riba al-nasi'a. Is that clear? Where they're coming from? Okay. What's the other claim you find in different books? They're not that strong, but another claim they say is that this goes against the qadr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Against tawakkul. You're nodding. Can you explain? You're nodding. How does that go against tawakkul? كيف? How? How is this going against tawakkul? When I get a security guard, I'm going to keep bringing the security guard back. He's going to be our buddy today. Am I going against tawakkul? And when you put an alarm, when you get telesecurity, okay? نعم? So we have to differentiate between عدم التوكل والأخذ بالأسباب. Okay? Okay, so صح عقلها وتوكل. Okay, so let's explain this hadith. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, the guy said, should I just leave it and atawakkal? Should I leave the camel and tawakkal Allah? And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, no, aqilha, tie the camel so it doesn't run off, then tawakkal. At-tawakkul is what? At-tawakkul is in things that you don't have control over. Do you guys understand? Yani, when you have a camel, when you have a car, I don't know why the alarms were going off, but you were supposed to lock your car, right? And when you parked your car for salah, اعقلها means what? First of all, make sure you put your e-brake. Okay, I guess if you're driving manual, but put a brake, turn it off, okay, and lock it. Okay, تمام. What's the tawakkul? Where's the tawakkul? Are you going against tawakkul? Where's the tawakkul part here? What if something falls on it? That's tawakkul. What if can it still get stolen? Yes, it can get stolen. Can it still get vandalized? Yes, it can get vandalized, okay? But that's tawakkul in things you have no control over. هذا هو التوكل. فأنا when I put an alarm when I go to sleep, يعني the house alarm, it's not like I'm like, no, I don't think Allah will protect me, or I'm actually doing my due diligence to protect myself, and then whatever, يعني, can someone still come in and hurt me? Yes. That's the tawakkul part. Okay. I really don't see this argument whatsoever. When somebody says that insurance is haram because it's going against tawakkul, is it going against tawakkul? If you in your heart believe that insurance is really protecting you, yeah, you have some aqidah problems there. We have to fix what your belief in tawakkul is. And if you believe that the Tylenol is what saves your life, or really cures you, doesn't really cure, but you know what I mean, or whatever, the doctor is the one that yashfi, then that's the aqidah issue you have. The Muslim is supposed to believe that the doctor is a sabab, but al-musabbib is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the tabib, the doctor, is just a means. But the real one who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is there any issue with tawakkul here? Anybody? Can we erase it off the table? So it's not a problem, right? So the three main issues: gharar, wal maysir, wal riba. Okay, those are our main. When the main fatwa came out, 60s, 70s, there was a minority that did not. There was no ijma'. There was a minority that said no, like Dr. Mustafa Zarqa and others, rahmahumullah, that they said no. You know what? There is no gharar. They said that there's no gharar, and there's no riba as well, because I'm not getting money back. I'm not getting money back. I'm getting my car fixed. I'm getting my health taken care of. I'm not really getting cash for cash. It's not a mu'awada of cash for cash. When you're paying your insurance, in your mind you're not putting cash and getting cash back. You're putting cash and then you're getting protection back. You're getting your car fixed back, right? I know here they don't give you cash, at least for car insurance. It's a write-off. صح, they will give you cash, right? Yeah, when it's a write-off, it's a cash. So yeah, in that aspect, you.
But they pay you for your car, right?
Yeah, but the other group is going to say, well, you're getting more than you paid for. Maybe, I don't know. It could be equal, huh? Huh?
I got two of my cars total loss back in Dubai. They don't give you the full amount of the value that they put. They give you like 80%. But in the first car, they gave me more than the insurance I have paid. But of course, they returned back of the amount I paid for my car. So I ended up paying for a full car and then an insurance, which is more ridiculous at the end.
Yeah. I understand. It's everybody's different. Some people will pay. It's almost impossible that you actually pay exactly the same. Is it possible? It is possible, that somehow what you got back from them is the same. I would say like less than 1% chance. Then that would not be riba, I guess, because it's exact amount for exact amount. Hold on.
I think there's another point that I heard from some of the mashayikh that's talking about why it's haram. Because insurance is one of the biggest institutions in the supply chain of riba.
One of the biggest.
Contributors or institutions in the supply chain.
Yeah, I know that argument. There's the argument about what these companies do with the money, right, and their investments, and that is problematic. But if we're going to use that argument, then you're going to say because they're the biggest. But what about the second biggest? What about Apple? Where do you think they put their money? Where do you think the other companies put their money? Where do you think a lot of the companies that you purchase from, or the companies that you work for, whatever, Shaw, Telus, all these companies, they have a lot of their cash is involved in ribawi transactions.
But the major account maybe he's talking about.
Yeah. So you're gonna say that 80% of their cash flow is into riba transactions. Okay, you could say that. صح. So they are big contributors to that industry. صح. It's a good argument. ما في مشكلة. طيب, so the minor review, they said that that insurance is a type of تعاون. وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى, right? It's a تعاون. Why? Because it alleviates, harm for everybody in total. Okay, so some people, everybody will pay something, but in total there's تعاون. يعني some people will not get really harmed a lot. يعني ال 1500 في السنة doesn't change their life, but other people it will save يعني some major loss. So they say this is a type of تعاون. They said غرر applies to object of sale, not benefit. Okay, the protection is clearly defined. So that's why the other side, they'll say that no, there's no gharar. It's like we know the contract is clear. I'm getting this benefit, like I'm getting this protection, the protection for my vehicle from this time to this time. So they say that's not really gharar. Okay, that's an argument. They will say it's not gambling. It reduces existing risk, versus creating new risk for profit. So they'll say, no, I'm not, it's not exactly what we said, it's a win or lose situation. So they'll say it's not gambling, and the riba as well, they'll argue against it, like I said, because you're not, you're not taking a loan, and it's not a exchange of money with money, it's not exchange of money with money. So those are their arguments. طيب, we discussed gharar, and we said that the Prophet ﷺ said that gharar is بيع الغرر is impermissible. So in those who argue for insurance being haram, they'll say that there's excessive gharar fahish. So they say the outcome of an insurance contract is fundamentally unknown. You don't know. This person's been paying for all his life and never got anything out of it. You may pay forever and never claim, or claim immediately. Classical fiqh forbids sales with major uncertainty about the subject or price. And we know that bay' al-gharar is, the problem is not whether gharar is okay or not. The problem here is, can we say that the mu'awada, the return you're getting from insurance is gharar or not? That's the mas'ala. Like properly, saying if that is gharar or not. The thing with buyu', like sometimes it's really hard to define the exact transaction, and if you can apply that the transaction mentioned in the hadith to what is happening right now. That's the tricky part, because with buyu' things keep changing, right? I'll give you an example. Like there was the mas'ala of buying gold with a MasterCard. Just think about that for a second. When you buy gold with a MasterCard, is there riba there? We didn't discuss this in our riba session, but we should have.
If you pay your MasterCard on time, there is no riba.
Wait a second. So, okay, let me explain to you. When I go and buy, I'm going to go to مثلا Costco, and I'm going to go get some gold from there. And I'm going to pay with my Costco MasterCard. I'm going to get the gold. The MasterCard will pay the money. But did he do qabd? Did the Costco do qabd on the spot right there?
Yes, they did.
So a group of scholars say this is riba nasi'ah. Why? This guy is not going to get paid today. Costco is not getting paid today. Are they getting, the credit card companies pay them on the spot? No, they'll get their money 7 days later, or. Naam?
No, they pay on the spot. When they pay with your.
So you're.
They are getting paid on the spot.
شوف لا this you might think it's semantics, but
The money is not transferred.
is the money liquid with him on the spot?
No. I believe so.
لا, it's not. If you ask a shop owner, when you pay him with credit card, the money is not liquid. He doesn't have it on, like it's not in his account. He will get it in his account maybe 7 days later, and if there's a problem, he will not get it. But this is not the default, but the default is like a few days later he'll get it. Type. Can we, I'm not saying, the question, I brought this up not to say if it's halal haram. I'm saying, do you see here the issue is, some will say, well, this is qabd. Some say, well, this is not qabd. Some will say, well, no, there's a receipt saying that he paid him. And others will say, no, the definition of qabd is that it's liquid with you right now on the spot. Do you understand what I mean? So that's why, like, this is where it gets a bit tricky. And you need people who, with proper understanding of the mas'ala. Okay, so same thing here. Somebody will say that this is a gharar because there's absolutely uncertainty on what's happened, on what you're getting. And the other person will say, no, it's clear. I'm getting protection. Okay, I'm getting protection, for my car or my health in case something happens. It could happen. It could not happen. That's not up to me. But I know what I'm getting in return. I have an idea. I have a CRV, whatever. I know that if something happens, I'm going to get around this much. صح? You have an idea of what you're going to get. True or false? If your car gets totaled, don't you have an idea how much you're going to get back? You have an idea because you can go to the websites online and you can get an average of what it's worth. Well, that's it. But there is some kind of understanding of what you're getting. تمام? The idea of gambling, right? They said premium payments and claims resemble a gamble. You win if a loss occurs. The company wins if nothing happens. This is where they say it's maysir. The speculative exchange mirrors what Quran, right? The ayah mentions about al-maysir. Okay? So you win if a loss occurs, you win, inta. Okay? Let's say I just started driving and, I just crashed my car and, I just paid whatever, 1,500. I get my brand new RAV4 totaled. Khalas, I get money back.
Next year, you're going to be paying more. So they're going to get the money back, but in a longer period. It's always you are losing.
In reality, yeah, you're always losing. There are instances where you could say someone is winning.
But you just lost your car. Like you just lost, for example,
صح.
100K.
صح.
So like you were not losing. You were already at negative 100. They brought you back to the zero line, almost to the zero line. Right?
You did not win, until you paid for the car. Who paid for the car? They did. You did. You paid for the car.
No, when you made an accident, you went in the negative, right? And then you're just helping you get back to the.
Yeah,
but
but
you think
next year, you're going to be paying full.
Yeah.
So the whole argument here is the safety is like I paid for the safety of not paying 200K. Had you not had insurance, for example, it could have been the case that you would have had to pay like 200K, and that would have put you even further in the negative. That's the whole protection thing that we're talking about.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the one who crashes, is he really winning? You're losing your car. You're not winning. I can't think of a scenario where you're really winning. And if you're winning, it's very small amounts. Because it is your car, aslan. You paid for it. I'll tell you my personal story. I won because of coincidence. I bought this car when the market was low. Okay? Tamam. So I bought this car for whatever, $2,000. They don't exist anymore, right? But I bought this car for $2,000. And then, if you guys remember a few years back, car prices like tripled or something, right? But then when it got totaled, the new price for that car became like $3,500, $400, $4,000. After I used it for 2 years, or whatever, a year and a half. تمام. Is this نعم.
The money you are taking, you will not be able to buy the same car with the same exact money.
If the money they give you, you mean? Yeah. So on average, you're not winning. So when I don't like the gambling arguments, and me personally, I'm not comfortable with the gambling argument because you're not winning. You're almost never winning. Really, in reality, you're almost never. Who's winning is the insurance company, for sure, 100%. Naam, same thing with.
It's the same thing in the gambling. It's always the casino that's winning.
Except the guy who walks with that one guy who walks with the millions, right? طيب. Jamil. الربا is an understandable argument. Tamam. So they say insurance companies invest premiums in interest. So this is he's talking about here what they do with the money, but also the money you get back. Like if they give you money back, that is, you can argue that it's riba. Okay. طيب. A lot of the stuff in the slides we discussed it while we were talking, so I'm just looking at what to skip and what to not skip. But this is the arguments for insurance being halal. So we talked about ta'awun, right? We talked al-gharar. Yeah, so they said al-gharar applies to the object of sale being unknown. Here the object is clearly defined, guaranteed financial protection. It's not an item that we are used to in the books of fiqh. Yani protection. Is that an item? Is that really a benefit? Is that a manfa'a that you can, that you can pay for? Sure. Yani they use the qiyas of like I gave you the security guard, protection. I'm paying for protection, right? So whether I get protected or not, whether he actually protects me from something or not, right? And if one day we figure out that your chances of getting into an accident, with AI and stuff, if we figure out that your chances of getting into an accident go down to like 0.01%, is there going to be insurance? Probably won't be any insurance, right? The maysir, we talked about maysir. So they said, the risk here does not equal to gambling. Gambling creates new risk for entertainment. Insurance reduces an existing risk to prevent hardship. Not having insurance is the real gamble. So some of them will actually say, well, no, not having insurance, you're gambling with your life. And if you don't have insurance, you're really putting yourself at risk. Like somebody who lives without savings. You're gambling with your, with your family or whatever. And that's an argument. And they talk about tying the camel. We talked about riba. Now let's go into the types of insurances. We were talking about car, right? Car insurance. This is the most common one. We also have things like health insurance. Okay, I think everybody has health insurance, or most people have health insurance, and most of them will come from companies. Maybe if you're a business owner or something, you have private insurance. We have what else? Property, your insurance. Do you have to have home insurance here?
Yes.
You have to, so you can't get out of it. Yeah. Okay. And if you own a house, if you just buy a house, you have to have insurance, no?
Yes, it's required.
It's required by law, صح?
If it is owned by the owner, there's no owner debt, no insurance required. But if there is a loan,
So if I pay off my house, I don't have to pay insurance on it?
Yes, so if you fully paid, yes, you would have.
I don't have to.
no, I mean like I'm renting the house, I'm having home insurance from the.
وفي rent insurance هلا كمان.
I mean like this is about protecting the items inside the house.
You're talking about like the property insurance, not the home insurance. So there's home insurance and there's like property insurance and there's, yeah.
Depends on the property too. Like if it's condo, you have to have insurance because you are affecting the whole building.
The property insurance is like if you get robbed or something gets stolen from your house and.
It's not for the building, man. Like the rental is only for your furniture and your.
No. If you are, let's say you own a condo, you have to have a condo insurance.
That's the building in.
Yeah, so there's home and property insurance, and I don't know, may Allah protect everybody here, but these things can happen. Like I know somebody who his house got robbed twice, laptops, computer, TV, كل شيء wiped. So I don't know. That's a real mushkila. That's a problem. For somebody to be that could really mess up someone's life, right? Life, there's two kinds. There's term and whole in life insurances. Now the majority will tell you that the whole life insurance are impermissible. This is the majority. Very few will say that that's okay, and some will say that the term life insurance are okay, but very few. And you understand that life insurance now, it's not. What's life insurance? Life insurance is when you, in an event of your death, then this third party will what? Pay your family or give your family money. Tamam. This is a bit more problematic because now. How is this different from car insurance? If I was to ask you, how is that different from car insurance, life insurance?
For you,
How come there's a bit of a different حكم and
you will be dying anyways.
ها
So eventually,
نعم نعم.
Risk and no risk.
No, but so when you get life insurance, what are you trying to do here? What are you supposed to be trying to do? You're supposed to be trying to protect your family? Protect your family after you pass away. But isn't that something that the Sharia encourages? No? But I'll give you a proof that the Sharia encourages that. When Sa'd ibn Waqqas was passing away, radiyallahu anhu, he wanted to give all his money away. صح? Do you remember, do you guys know the hadith? The hadith about the wasiyah, right? Wasiyah is one of our next chapters actually. But he wanted to give like, I think all of it, then half. And then he said, الثلث. And Nabi Sallallahu said what? الثلث والثلث كثير. He said, it's better يعني, that you don't leave your family like asking for help after you. Then in the Sharia, you are recommended to do your best to يعني, leave off your family well off. يعني. When you're close to your death, it's not recommended from the Sharia for you to give up all your wealth and leave your inheritors needy, asking for people. Okay? But the Sharia did leave, space for you to give from that third, that thuluth, right? The wasiyah, right? The Sharia does encourage. Okay? I'm not saying Sharia encourages life insurance. Okay? I'm saying Sharia encourages the Muslim to leave something for the family. Tamam? That's why I'm saying that the idea of leaving off is fine. But the mushkila with the insurance is like, do you guys understand that you're kind of leaving off that job for somebody else? It's not their job. And it's not the job of the other guys in the pool that are putting their money or the insurance company to take care of your family. It's not their job. It's your job. Huh? Yeah, I understand. I understand.
the money your family is gonna get back. What is the source of that? That's where I usually say like, why it's haram, because the money that your family is getting, maybe it's getting from drugs, from weapons, from something that is...
The source is another issue. But like the transaction here is that you're paying an amount of money to get more money after. The mu'awada here, okay, is a money for money. Can somebody like try to sugarcoat it? It's money for money, sah? Yeah, it's money for money. I'm paying some money now, and I don't know, but I didn't do the numbers on this one, but it seems like this one is maybe usually these guys win more, I think. I don't know. Allah alam, I don't know. So anyways, المهم, car insurance, obviously here in the West, you don't have a choice. You'll see in the Amja and other fiqh councils, they will say the asl is that the insurance is haram. You have to get it, and so what you do is you get what you need. Then the fatwa that Amja, I believe, have given out and was discussed in Sheikh Jamal Zarabozo's paper on insurance is that you take what you need. Tamam. Then you have to take car insurance, or you have to take car insurance. But the next question is, are you allowed to get full car insurance? Comprehensive car insurance? Or do you have to get just either liability or third party, whatever they call it, right? That's the question. So that's the difficult question. And for someone with just a regular average car, they'll be like, okay, ما في مشكلة, I'll get third party, whatever. But someone maybe with a much nicer car, they'll be like, no way, because if he's at fault, what's going to happen? Huh? If he's at fault, the insurance company is going to cover the person he damaged his car. Like he has a Ferrari and the other guy has a Ferrari. The insurance will cover that guy's Ferrari. Who's going to cover your Ferrari? Huh? Yeah, your inheritors, right? It's a big loss for them. Health insurance, obviously, if it's something provided by your employer, then khalas, that's just something that is you can't do anything about it. If you're مثلا someone who has a business and you need to get health insurance, private health insurance, then they say same thing. You say you get what you need. Okay. If you see that this is a haja, a need, then you're the one who needs to figure out, is this something, a haja that I need, or is something that I don't need. وطبعا we know here like health, health bills can be, especially like teeth and other things like that, it can be very problematic here in the West. We're talking in thousands, like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. You have 5 kids and they all need braces. Allah musta'an, right? Huh? Naam, sell your kidney. Naam?
It's 8,000 now.
8,000, huh? And then you have 5 kids and Allah decreed they all have bad teeth. Yeah, there is a the argument of darura, it's there. But المشكلة إنه some فقهاء they'll say that الضرورة is for special, specific incidences. It cannot be that there's a darura for the whole ummah in a specific time. Wallahu a'lam, that's another discussion. Like I said, we're just here kind of to discuss the topic. Same thing with whatever you have to pay for your home, you have to pay it. Here, if you don't, anybody know here someone who owns a house that doesn't pay insurance? It's so risky. I mean, imagine like somebody, especially like now in the US, there's a lot more like Islamophobia and stuff, and somebody just burned your house. Okay, khalas, assalamu alaikum. You've been, working on this for 40 years. You paid it off, and then somebody just comes, burns it, and you get nothing back. And then if you catch that guy, can you make him pay 400,000? You can't. صح؟ تفضل.
I think it's not only the Muslims, there's a movement for building with earthen materials. Now in New Mexico, in US, I think it's 7 more states, there are a lot of people doing it because they don't need mortgage, they don't have to pay for anything and they build it with good material like mud and brick and those stuff.
Oh, so they don't need house insurance.
They stay off grid for like no insurance, nothing.
Yeah,
And they are non-Muslims.
What about water damage?
There's so many things, like if you live somewhere where there's a lot of earthquakes, or you live somewhere where there's like, Allah musta'an. طيب. And we talked about life, right? Pure term life provides for dependence. Some scholars permit protection only. Others prohibit due to uncertainty about one's own death. Like I said, the term life, that one, generally, you will see some of them. طيب. Some questions. There's one thing I wanted to cover. Yeah, so quickly I want to talk about takaful. SubhanAllah, we lost track of time. Like at-takaful, what's at-takaful? So at-takaful, they say it's cooperative insurance. كيف يعني? I'll give you the simplest way that it used to be done. Okay, where a group of people, they will pool their money together, and then basically whoever needs it will use it. So let's say all of us here, all 40 of us here, or whatever, 50 of us here, will put $200 a month, and we will agree that if anybody gets into an accident, they will use from the money. Okay, طيب. You might say, what's the difference? Why did I say this is okay and the other one is not okay? تفضل.
I think it's 2 main reasons. One of them is the money is yours when it's takaful. It's the ownership of the money does not change.
No, it does.
So
because they will call it tabarru'.
So they pay you back. It depends on the form.
So some of them pay back, okay, and some of them don't.
If they don't pay back,
Because what do? They'll say you have a fund, right? This fund stays as a fund, okay? If la samahallah, it's all used up, خلاص, that's it. Okay? فأنت when I do a tabarru', when one of you goes and puts tabarru' for the masjid, are you expecting anything back?
No.
طيب. In takaful, are you expecting anything back?
Takaful is not. This is the difference here. You are still the owner of the money, but just like.
How can you call it tabarru' then?
But like a waqf institution.
But how can you call it tabarru'? Tabarru', and I'm saying, I'm arguing against it. Just it has issues as well. Because when you call it tabarru', call it what you want, tabarru'. But if you're going to call it tabarru', treat it as tabarru', right? Because a lot of times in Islamic financial transactions, You'll get some guy who says, oh, it's Sharia compliant now because we changed the name. غير الاسم. طب غيرت الاسم, it's still the same thing. You know? If you say it's tabarru', you're expecting something back. والمشكلة إنه with these ones, the funds can finish. يعني if the third party, they collected your money and then the funds finish, okay, you have a problem. Okay, what they'll do is some of them will go take loans, like Qard Hasan, and then the future people will pay it back. يعني it has a lot of loopholes, has a lot of issues. There's still gharar technically, okay, and you call it tabarra'. It's not tabarra' because you're expecting something back. يعني let me give you the scenario, okay? We all have two of you here tomorrow get into an accident, okay? Our pool has enough only for one of you. He quickly gets on the phone and quickly he gets paid, and then you come, you're like, hey, me too, I have an accident, and we're like, oh, sorry, man, the fund's done. Tough luck. How will you feel? How will you feel? Not good. Was that a tabarru'? No, you were expecting something back, and you'll be upset. You'll be like, well, I was expecting, for my car to be fixed. فالمشكلة, there's still a problem with that. There's still.
Traditional insurance, the problem is the conflict of interest. So they are trying to satisfy the shareholder and also cover you. And usually they will go with the shareholder. They try to make money as much as they can. So that's the biggest.
هلا هون the insurance companies, they make money in different ways. Yeah, the money that they pool is invested in other things ومش عارف ايش, and they're the percentage of people that get into accidents, like I said, the average person is losing like 20,000-30,000 in their lifetime. So multiplied by the millions that are taking it. فno, they are fine. يعني they have no problem. But what I'm trying to say is that the takaful also has issues. I want to just go to the last slide about the. If you want to know more about this topic, I'm going to stop now because of Salat al-Isha. But if you want to know more about the topic, 44-54, right? طيب. If you want to know about the topic, there's two papers written by Amja, and one of them tackles the actual mas'ala of insurance, and then the other one tackles the actual mas'ala of living in the West and the different ahkam on those insurances. So the first one is commercial insurance permissible, and then the second part is how should Muslims in the West navigate insurance. I have it summarized here. So the central question here, the key to any ruling on insurance is correctly identifying what type of contract it is. Different contract types carry different legal conditions in Islamic law. This classification question is the source of most scholarly confusion. Right? We talked about really identifying what is the contract here in the insurance. Is it money for money? Is it money for something else? This is the really what needs big minds to kind of think about. Is insurance a charitable contract? Right? Here the author argues no. And that's why they'll say takaful is charitable. But I told you that charity means you're not expecting anything back. The insured sole goal is to transfer future financial burden to someone else. When you pay the insurance, you're trying to put the burden on someone else. He has no concern for the insurance company or other policyholders. This is not a cooperative or charitable mindset. Sure, okay. Conclusion, they'll say that insurance is a mutually onerous or profit-driven contract. It's a profit-driven contract binding both parties for gain. Every party is trying to gain. Is that true? The insurance company for sure, they're trying to gain. They know, and they have the formulas. They know they'll gain for sure. But is the one who's trying to get insured, is he trying to gain too?
He's trying to gain when
I'm not trying to gain. If I had an option to not pay, I wouldn't pay. Okay. Are they trying to gain? Allahu alam. I guess some might be trying to gain, some might not be trying to gain. It must therefore meet the strictest criteria of Islamic contract law. So now they say if both parties trying to gain, then we have to apply the rules of gharar and riba and the other ones. And they mentioned that in agreement with the vast majority of scholars, commercial for-profit insurance is forbidden. It contains both gharar excessive uncertainty, and riba, okay, interest. A societal need alone cannot justify setting aside these Sharia objections. So that's why they'll say societal need is not enough. Okay, this is what the first paper concluded. In the second paper, he'll talk about, okay, what about people living in the West? So they'll say, principle is insurance remains forbidden. Muslims may resort to it only under genuine necessity, darura, not convenience. That's why they'll tell you, well, full insurance is convenience. They'll say full insurance is convenience. So as a Muslim, you should only go for the lower end. You should only get for like liability insurance, and must minimize involvement as much as possible. So when it comes to car insurance, legally mandated liability insurance is permissible under necessity. Refusal creates legal consequences and prevents basic function in society. Health insurance, where the employee contributes to premiums, the Muslim must generally ask, do I truly need this? Seek the most minimal and least problematic plan available. For health, the free benefit, if employer provides it free, the Muslim need not use it. When a bill arises, he can afford it himself. He pays directly. Only invoke the plan under genuine financial necessity. Okay, so here they say use it when in need. And life insurance, the fatwa that Amja issued is that it is not permissible. The most clear-cut case, impermissible, even under necessity. It more directly involves riba and contradicts Islamic principles around trust in God's providence. The tawakkul part, I don't really agree with it, but the riba part, yes. The riba part is clear. It's hard to argue against the riba here, especially in life insurance. You're doing money for money. So that's the really big problem with life insurance. Car insurance is a bit more debatable. Property insurance is a bit more debatable. And if you're getting compensated for what you paid for, but to get direct cash like that, Allahu alam, that doesn't seem proper. And again, like from a general point of view, and I will finish here, from a general point of view, insurance, what insurance companies do is that they make a person throw their responsibility on somebody else, if you think about it, at the end of the day. And it doesn't seem like that's something that the Sharia is seeking, right? And I think this is a subject that it needs a lot more thinking, a lot more discussion. I think it's been put to the side. Not many people talk about it. Alhamdulillah, the housing, there's been solutions, but this is one of the issues that needs a lot more, people talking about it and trying to find solutions for it, just like student loans and other, issues that we're dealing with. So just kind of a conclusion, conventional insurance contains gharar, maisir, and often riba. Majority of scholars consider it permissible. Mandatory insurance, car, mortgage is permissible by necessity, darura, take the minimum required. Employer health plans and government coverage are generally permissible. Life insurance, especially investment linked, should be avoided. Term life is disputed. Takaful is an endorsed alternative. There are some, I think, like I said, there's some takaful available here in Canada, not as much as other places. Is it the safer option or is it the more halal option? I guess it is. Is it inferior to normal insurance?
No, it's like when the hail happened in Calgary like 3 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
the couple became almost impossible
To afford for you because it went up.
just being for myself.
No, but so is it inferior? Is it more expensive and then you get less?
Probably like 60% more premium after the 2 hail we had in Calgary as compared to
Yeah.
other.
And that's the problem. Like I said, one of the papers I read is that they'll talk about how inferior takaful is to normal insurance. You're paying more, and you're not getting the same daman. You're not getting the same guarantee. You could end up getting nothing back.
Is it acknowledged by the government that has insurance?
The takaful? I think so. It's something called cooperative something. It's a type of cooperative.
Have a kind of similar insurance certificate or something you're supervised at least? You can show you have some.
You did it for car or for housing? You did car and housing. Yeah, so it is recognized. Yeah, something recognized. You can look it up, inshallah. What was the organization?
The cooperators is
One more time?
The cooperators.
De-cooperators. So that's one you can look up, inshallah. And of course, when in doubt, you consult a scholar for fatwa. One of the sisters said she had questions. If anybody has questions, we didn't answer them here. You can always send us an email, info@IISC, or if you go to our website, iisc.ca, contact us. All the emails for the imams are there. You can email the question there, or to info@iisc.ca. Any last minute questions before we do the iqamah?
What about the travel insurance?
Travel insurance. So travel insurance, you pay for you pay the premium, and then what you get back is what they cover your damage, صح? Your ticket, your flight. Yeah, that's closer to kind of car insurance. They give you cash? They give you cash back, or they cover your?
Just the ticket, and if something happened, like you get sick or something.
Yeah, so that's closer to the car insurance. You know, like, it's not something that you have to take, right? It's not something that you have to take. Yeah, so this one, it goes into the gray area. Yeah, the gray area where, is it a need? Is it a necessity? Is it a need for you? What do you think? Huh?
I don't think so.
Those who don't travel much, I don't think so. Those who travel a lot, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. Allah alam.
You're stuck somewhere and you cannot come back. So I think it's necessity. If you only have those money,
Yeah. Allah alam. I mean, I don't think I've ever used it, but I can imagine someone who, yeah.
You have to fight for it. Actually, it's not easy.
Naam?
Insurance, you have to fight for it. Usually travel insurance is not easy to get coverage anyway.
Yeah.
You have to fight for it.
I don't know, Allah, travel insurance, I didn't really look into it as much. I don't know. But I think it's very similar to, but travel insurance is that it's an optional insurance. So it's not really like the other ones where you have to do it. I would assume that, if we take the fatwa of Amja, they will probably say it's not. It's not something that you should do. Right? The person should do his due diligence. And, if it happens, it happens. Allahu musta'an. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullah khairan. One thing I wanted to say is we have, we finished the fiqh of financial transactions in the last few months, and usually we do like a test, like here together on quizzes or on Kahoot, and we get some food and we get together, and just for benefit for us to review the material. So inshallah, طبعا the fiqh of financial transactions, there's about 34 topics or so. So it's a bit on the longer end. So what we decided to do last time is we were going to split it into 2 days. So inshallah, next Saturday, we will have part 1, like the exam on part 1. So that will cover all the topics up to al-mahjur, right? Al-hijr, like I think it's like topic 17, 18, 19. Yeah, up to topic 19. You'll see it on the slides. The slides, I will be sharing them. So if you go to our YouTube channels, we have all the videos there, and inshallah on the description, Brother Afzal is going to put the link for the slides, so you'll be able to have access to the slides inshallah by the end of the weekend. So inshallah from now until next week, study for everything up to the topic 20, which is al-hajr, and inshallah the week after we'll cover the other topics. And then after that, we said we're probably going to start talking about al-wasaya and inheritance, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Someone wants to make adhan.